Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, and I'm joined by Joe,
Hello.
also aka Mojo,
Yes, hello.
aka Mojo Jojo.
God damn it. That's an ugly painting.
Yeah, we have to look at it a lot too. It's just I don't know. I'm tired of looking at it, I guess. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor. Third floor one? One. Okay. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating that which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, but just barely ajar so that I can see it's open, but nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone's inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle on my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Oh, it's a creaking noise.
Oh, was there actually a creaking noise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool.
The door, I didn't put that in there. It's actually in the game.
Yeah, it's really cool when visual novels do that. That's why I got kind of excited. I was like, oh, it's adding something new to it. Yay.
Yeah, I'd like to get, moving down this hallway and towards the library. It'd be nice if there was more pictures.
Yeah.
It's more than Steins Gate, but it'd be
This
much
was
more interesting if there was more pictures.
this was made on a budget of 0.
Oh, okay.
So, it's pretty good for that.
The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. What? Is this Emily or whatever? Lily?
Yeah, you got it. There you go. Lily.
She's meditating. She looks so peaceful. That is not what I was expecting. It's a girl with long hair. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes but doesn't look at me.
Hello there. May I help you?
Hello there. Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break the silence rather than words. Is she blind?
You caught on quick.
However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. She's being separate from her room? The room? What?
I've made this statement before. The very first time I played through this, and Tori and I, if you go watch my playthrough, my non-existent playthrough on it, actually, well, it's there, but we didn't finish
Not
it.
finished, yeah.
Yeah. Then he's basically saying she's not an object in the room; she is a person in the room. But I always thought that was really stupid because they're like, oh yeah, definitely, she's not a chair.
I don't know why you have to state that.
I don't know either. I've made fun of that every single time I've played through this.
Because she's sitting so still, maybe?
Maybe?
And she's all alone, so it's like surprising to him, I guess.
I don't know. He's a little bit stupid sometimes. I'm beginning to wonder if he doesn't just have heart problems.
You not only.
Yeah.
Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, tallest, really, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. She's a foreigner?
Yes. Most Japanese people do not have blonde hair.
Yeah, but who has pink hair?
I believe we find out that Misha actually dyes her hair later on.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
usually don't address things like that. It's
Yeah.
just like the girl with the pink hair.
Yeah, she usually don't usually address it, but I think if you go down Misha and Shizun's route, one day you'll just see that she like cut off her drill hair and now it's brown.
Interesting. Hi, sorry for the intrusion. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected considering that I am intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind. Like Kenji, oh yeah. That guy. Come to think of it, you didn't meet him for very long.
No, he pops up every once in a while then.
Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. Was he also, like, coming on to me or something? I forget.
Kenji, he is gay.
Okay, yeah. I just couldn't remember. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. I'd like to see a Japanese person with blue eyes and blonde hair. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student to Yamaku?
Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting?
Bow? Bow? I'm not sure.
I don't know why it would be bow.
This is the part where we don't know enough about Japanese culture, so we don't understand everything.
But she's not bowing, as far as I can tell. One which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action.
I'm Lilly Satou. Pleased to meet you.
I like that name. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. Well, this is a new picture. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink.
So?
Jeez. Like, all she said was so. And then it's like text, walls of text that I have to read. Her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
What is this room? The school library. Suzune and me, I mean, some classmates told me it was on this floor. Why did he have to stop himself there?
He'll explain it, I believe.
She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it is being stirred.
Oh, okay. He didn't explain it. Basically, he didn't know if she would know the two students.
Oh, okay.
I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no?
No. That's right, in the science room with Mutao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walks towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite the character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do.
Is that me?
Yes, that is you.
Oh, they usually don't show him in third person.
No, I think they did it at the very first scene where you had a heart attack, and that's about it. It's very rare.
As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. I thought that coffee was a more Western thing.
I have no clue.
Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. I'm pretty sure I saw an anime once where they introduced the concept of coffee, and maybe it's the time period though. Maybe the time period was like a lot older and before they introduced a lot of Western concepts into Eastern.
I mean, I think this visual novel's written in 2009, so it's hard to imagine Japan being without coffee in 2009.
Yeah. They just usually drink tea, I think.
Yeah.
I think that coffee is a pretty rare thing for Japanese to drink.
Yeah.
But not totally undone. I can't think of the word. not totally unprecedented, but
Yeah.
thanks, Satou. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really doesn't seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi.
No way.
And is specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
I see. Ah, that means, sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. As, looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
My, there's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
And if I'm... Yeah, he's...
Sweating before?
What?
Was he sweating before?
No, he only did that after he said, I see. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions.
A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic.
Segway.
Segway? Really?
Segway, yes.
I guess I've never seen Segway spelled out before.
You always think of it spelled with a W, huh?
Yeah.
That's how I thought of it too. When I first saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm wrong.
Weird how you go through life like saying that word, but never actually seeing it written anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as a class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so Fred and I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Suzuni, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizuni's blunt and fiercely driven, Lilly seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are Track and Field Club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the Baseball Club, and the Book Club in a room near the library.
Out of those three, the book club, probably.
There are also numerous small ones, too, though, such as the art and music clubs. How are those small? I have to imagine a lot of people want to join the music or the art club.
Yeah. I would, probably. But I don't know. Art would be a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into the club right away seems slightly unappealing. Oh, come on. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though it is encouraged.
What does it mean compulsory?
Is it compulsive? Like, is it compulsive just to come here and then immediately throw yourself into a bunch of things?
Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Yeah, she's laughing. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same.
Wow, you've spent a long time there.
Really?
The time changed. It looks darker now. Like the sun is setting.
I guess it is, huh? As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming down into the room has distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, the time's gone so quickly.
Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of that time.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. Boy, I hope they don't leave a message. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizuni when I had the chance, but Lily seems to likely know in any case.
True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
Quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. She smiles and gives me a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? Ugh.
Spit it out.
You're right.
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigation skills fail me.
You have crappy navigational skills, Hasao.
Yeah, you need a blind girl to show you around.
It's gonna be the blind leading the dumb.
Which is seem to have a habit of doing.
It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped into the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane, the boy in my class had, the Lily's is much thinner, longer. So what? His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation.
I always thought that was just a completely useless observation, considering we never talked to that kid.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of interesting, but
I mean,
not really.
I think most people know that the canes blind people use are not exactly for support, but for navigation.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like a "oh really" moment.
Yeah. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers as we slowly walk through the hallway. I will stop there. I think probably good place to
And
stop.
next time we get to meet 2 new characters. Hooray! Finally.
We met one new character today, so I'm glad for that.
Yeah, I'm happy too. And next time we'll get a whole 2.
2 characters, and on top of this, wow. Awesome. Can't wait. Hopefully they're good characters. It's dumber?
No, slower.
Oh, slower. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Next time we will play this dumb game.
Alright. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.